Second example here is an example for a large energy company seeking to increase white paper download leads on its website. Maybe I'm missing here on its website. So we're now talking about a website for a big or large energy company, and they are seeking to increase the white paper download. It's a document. White paper is usually a technology-based paper that talks about a new innovation and new technology, about a patent. If you have a patent, then also explaining the patent and the technology behind it for non-technical individuals. So not necessarily for technical individuals as well. And this is a very well-known terminology in marketing, the white paper. And usually it's in B2B. To increase the number of leads. Okay, what do you mean by leads? In digital communication, we understood now in digital communication, we have what is called a click-through rate, which is the clicks on this button to lead you to a page. Now, the lead is any sort of information provided from the customer or potential customer. I'm not a customer yet. I haven't paid anything. I haven't bought anything yet. But any kind of information that I can gather from this potential customer is called or named a lead. For example, when you have an e-commerce store and then you have something like subscribe to our newsletter, this subscription box, you write down or you provide your email address. Your email address is a lead for me as a business person, because now I got some information to contact you. I can send you email marketing. I can send you newsletters about certain discounts and so on. So this is a lead, something that will lead to purchase. So this is why it is called the lead. It will lead to purchase. Primary research question for this experiment is which treatment will generate the most white paper downloads? Again, we have an A/B multi-factor split test. And with this, we're going to take a look at the treatment of the website. So this is the current website. It's a website that looks like this. It has the traditional main navigating bar on top. You have a side menu here, and then you have these big banners, and down there is click here, the oil and gas and all that, energy and so forth, energy exploration and extraction. I myself forgot what is it that we're doing, where there's a white paper, right? So there's no white paper in here. You actually searching for producing and developing the diverse energy resources effectively and safely. So over here, you can click on the white papers over here. Once you click, you'll be presented with this page. This page, which is step 2. So now I already, as a customer or as a potential client, because it's more of B2B, as a potential client, I clicked here. Then the next step is to download either the catalog, the manual, or the white paper. So these are the ones I would like to have a clicks on. So step 2 is gives visitors the 3 equally weighted call to actions for report downloads. So here's download, download, and download. So this is the first kind of arrangement of a website. So the goal here is to get an increase in the number of downloads. These are called leads. Okay, so how am I going to get the lead? Where am I going to get the email? Okay, so let's see how this old style. Pause the video and think about how you can rearrange this or improve this. Okay, so this is a way to improve it. This is the treatment. This is how we changed it. The banner is splitted into a nice image that reflects the energy sector. And instead of keeping it with nothing but the sun, the beautiful sun, which I love the most, and here in white, I am going to focus on a contrasting color and use this space. And as you can see here, also use every little space in that banner to my advantage. Maybe for me to use this area here, because I can't put a contrasting color over here because there are two colors. So in terms of design wise, I will add another layer. If you're using Photoshop, you will understand what I'm talking about. You add another layer over here that blurs down the background, for example, and keeps that beautiful sun still kind of blurry in the back. And then I can write whatever I want very clearly. And this is what I've done in terms of design. Do you see here? We added that little, actually let me show you in PowerPoint how do you do these tricks. It's not rocket science really. So let's say that you are, in terms of design, you have something like a banner here. So over here, what is that? I don't have any pictures right now. So let me just add, let's imagine this being the banner, all right? And let's imagine that this banner has also, has like kind of the sun here and all that, and you want to add, right? So you can add one more layer by adding a shape on top of your design. If this is the image, for example, actually I can do that. Wait a minute. Over here, I'm going to take this as an example. I just remember that I am on my good computer that has this kind of slides. Look at this. Let's imagine that this is the picture that you would like to add some text on it. So you can insert the text, right? And you can just add the text here and write blah, 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 blah. Let's write something meaningful so that you can relate. Hello and welcome. And now, even if you make it bolded and even if you make it way much bigger, let's put it at 30, for example, look at all this noise behind it. It's very difficult to see. Whatever color that you're going to put is still difficult to see. To solve this problem, I'll show you what to do. Basically, you can add here, insert a triangle, a shape here. And I don't like it this way because it's so solid. You can keep it solid if this is your preference, but guess what? You have other options. Look, over here in the fill, you can have it as a gradient, but maybe not white. However, let's have it as black or grayish so that it will matches the design somehow. You can also change the angle. Maybe the other way around is better, and so forth. So something like that goes a long way really, because it will look really awesome and more professional. And you can increase or decrease here. In fact, this should be here and this should be here. Yeah. So do you see I have a little bit of a grayish tone here, blackish tone, then a solid orange, then more of here an orange, lighter orange. So it is not my bestest designs, but playing around with something like that is, and also changing the transparency. Do you see here? This is the game changer. Here, changing the transparency. Do you see this? Oh. It is so weird that I can change the I can change the transparency throughout. Yeah, here we go. And change the transparency. And in fact, you can change the transparency differently from one point to another. So over here, I think this is awesome. And now it is a little bit more professional. You can get rid of this line. Maybe no need to have a line. So let's get rid of no line. And now you have a kind of similar design as the one that I showed you earlier, and looks just professional and nice. And you can add the text on top of it, and it is more readable. And now I even don't need a white text, a white text. Okay, bring this to, okay, no, bring the text to the front in case it's difficult to bring the text to the front. So when you're putting this behind it, it's easily selected, and then go and change the color, and this is it. Now you can see it better. You can also change the transparency further. So these are kind of tricks you can also implement to your presentations at a school or any professional presentations. Okay, back again to our example. Which example was it? We are example 2, the energy company. So with this example, it's a very interesting example. The treatment here is to add more text, and I showed you this in terms of design. Add a contact so you can receive also leads, not only online. Integrate your online strategy with your offline. So offline is receiving phone calls. So some people, especially in B2B, maybe would like to know more and talk and discuss. Or they maybe has downloaded the white paper, but they have questions and they don't want to send it in an email. They want to talk to you about it. So this is a very good practice. Second, you put everything in one page. It's only one step only, and not 2 steps. In the previous one, you had step 1 and click here, and then step 2, download. Over here, it is just easy. The same banner, the banner itself is divided into 2 sections. Here you have the synthetic element, and the graphics is there, still beautifully done. Here you have also took advantage of this empty space, and again, the same style, bullet points. Again, as in the previous example, you included numbers. As in the previous example, US manufactured and assembled, not in China, for example, and you emphasize on your history. Then again, it gives you like a more trustworthiness. Again, skilled and experienced field service technicians and so forth. So now that you have your bullet points, your positioning and statements or benefits also, but not necessarily communicating it in terms of like for a customer who's looking for this and that. You just say your value. You're communicating your value over here. So value number 1, value number 2, value number 3. I could improve this, skilled and experienced field service technicians, if I know that I have a big number of skilled and experienced field service technicians. Like, for example, if I know that over 90% of my skilled and experienced field technicians have over 20 years of experience, or over 10 years of experience, over 15 years of experience, or over 90% of my senior staff, senior skilled and experienced, I could have only 50 out of these. If I have 50, and I think this is not a very big number to highlight, then why don't I use the percentages? So this is also something missing in their treatment. And and this is one of the things that if we were in class, I would have asked you your opinion and asked you how to improve it. And these are kind of things that I will ask you to write in the assignment after these videos, which is how do you improve further, suggestions for you to improve further. And if you're listening to these videos and you have nothing to add to what I suggested, you can just write what I suggested in the videos. So that is really very good way of writing, but I would dig deeper and see if I don't have a big number in terms of thousands or hundreds compared to the other companies in the industry, then I would probably find percentages to communicate my ideas. Over here, let's take a look at this. This is replacement of this extra page and extra click. This here is easy peasy method, easy peasy way for customers, oil and gas product resources. Over here, I am a bit, we could improve on the title and probably no need for it altogether. And over here, what do you like to download? So, do you want the oil field products brochure? Do you want the safety manual? Or do you want the maintenance? And as you can see here, these all three separately were encapsulated in these radio buttons. The only thing I would say is maybe I am interested in both the brochure, the manual, and the maintenance. So in this case, I need to make it easier for my customers. So in terms of my clients or my audience, in terms of the design, I'm probably going to suggest to replace these radio buttons with checkboxes so that my clients can check more than one box, provide their name, provide their email, and they check contact me, and then download now. And then you can download multiple documents at once. So this is a nice treatment over here. So this step is replaced by only one step. This is side-by-side comparison. Instead of two steps here, only one step for the treatment. So what did we get? We got over 245% increase in conversion rate. What is a conversion rate? Conversion rate is the number of leads. The lead, we call it in digital marketing and in digital communication, of course, we call it a conversion rate. A conversion rate is how many of these views of you viewing this page will actually download one of these documents, but of course you need to provide your email. Now, one of the things I don't understand is over here, you can download now, but if you don't provide maybe your name and your email, it will tell me you provide your name and your email, but then you have to provide your name and email. But nowadays, in fact, what happens is some people may be providing emails that are not correct or not legit. So if you want to enforce the idea of getting a legit email, a correct email, then you would say, send me the copies or send me the documents or something like that. So in this case, I am not going to let you download these documents. I'm going to send you these documents to your email. And this is what most businesses doing. You have a choice of acting very ethical and also telling that customer that we are going to ask you for your consent to contact you in the future. Because you can't just contact me randomly in the future without asking for consent. And this is why I like this example, because here it has a checkbox, contact me. And also you can download this. And it's your choice to give us a good email or not a good email. And it's your choice to contact me or not. So it's up to you. How do you want to act or behave? Most marketers will not necessarily behave in the bestest way, ethical, and in the best ethical way. And they might not really ask you for consent to contact unless you need to consent to contact so that I can send you the email with the PDF. So it's kind of blackmailing if you want to consider it this way. So that if you want me to send you these documents, so you need to consent that I contact you, so I can contact you and send you the documents on the email. But this is a better way to get the leads and to show results for your marketing director or marketing manager. So this is also not the best way things could be done. So download now means I could provide you an email that is not correct and not functional. If you want to enforce that this email is functional, you can replace the download now button with send me the documents now or send the documents to my email. And this is how you know that you need to provide a very good email. Also, it will be nice to provide a mobile version of this design and show how you can also add the call button here so that person can call very quickly, with the call button on the email, on the mobile or cell phone. So over here, you got 245% increase in conversion rate. And conversion rate, as I told you, is the number of emails that you are getting. And the new call to action process design improved conversion rate by 245%. This design process. This is a design process that we already talked about earlier, but this is the new design process that I'm talking to you about. How do you get leads and emails in a very ethical way? So you can tell them, give me your email, I'll send you, and you know that you're giving me the email so that I can contact you and send you the documents. And this is not unethical in any way. You want the documents? I'm going to send it to you by email. Okay. So what you need to understand is, by reducing the amount of friction, what is friction? You know, when you're touching something again and again and again and again and again and again and again, it's friction. It's the same as when you are touching these buttons. But 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, so many buttons. We call it friction. So by reducing the amount of friction in the call to action process and adding a simple radio button, I will say adding a checkbox, because you could, the customer, the client, or the prospect would probably want to download or obtain more than one document. So this is all done in one step. So in summary, in the previous two examples, where one applies a quantifiable value proposition in a non-profit environment, while the other for in-profit environment, both of them had shown desirable results when we changed the design process and added our value in bullet points. How do you increase the force of your value proposition when you are in a highly competitive field in banking, for example? Many of the products and services are the same. So same applies to insurance industry and many others. So the main question here is how you can stand out and achieve more force with your value proposition. And this would be a very nice, a little bit of an example that we can work on it together in class. An example of a banking website, and see how we can enhance the value proposition. Value proposition force formula. As you can see here, we have we want the value force to be heavier than the cost force. The cost force is the time you spend to read, the time you are exhausted looking for information, looking for the process to complete something. So the net force is equal to the value force minus the value cost. This is simple mathematics. When we're talking here about the value force and the cost force, there are things that we would like to talk about. First of all, this little p. This little p is perceived. So we're talking here about the perceived clarity versus a credibility. So you need to make sure that it is clear and there is a credibility. A credibility, as we've shown you earlier here, you're talking about your skilled and experienced field services. I would add some percentages here. Percent for longer product service, and here for since 1981. So as a business, you're focusing on showing your value in terms of, I am credible. I can do this. I can provide the service because I have the experience. I have the skill to do that. Why do you do this job? Why are you for this job? Why are you good for this job? Why you? Because I have the skills. So be just up to the point. First of all, because I have the hard and the soft skills. I have the hard skills in terms of programming, in terms of digital marketing. I've done this and this, for example. Do you remember what the video that we watched in class last time? People like to hear stories. An example. For example, we've done this project, we've done that project with real life business, blah, blah, blah. Then I have the soft skills, good communication skills. I took this course, I took that course, and I did this and that. So credibility and the clarity. clear in bullet points. Second is the value force. The value force here and the cost. Let's talk about the value force. The value force here should have the appeal and should have the exclusivity. And this is why sometimes I told you, this is for exclusively for exclusive members. This is an exclusive offer. So this is exclusivity, or the unique selling point also could be here in the value force. And it should be appealing to the customers. What is it that the clients or the customers are looking for? What are the benefits? If you remember that benefit tree. So you need to look for that benefits that the customer is looking for, and or what appeals to them, and the exclusivity, if you have anything exclusive. Now, the cost, be careful with the cost. There is material cost and there is mental cost. Mental cost is my eyes gazing here and there and everywhere on the page to find what I'm looking for. This is the trouble. Is there a crowd and too much information? Also trouble. Is it a small font I can't see very well, like in the first control for the energy company? This is also trouble. And then there's the material cost. This I'm going to just leave it for now. And then I'm going to talk about in the next video what is value proposition is based on the MICLAB approach. See you in the next video.